What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rex Righteous, and I'm back with another rap rant. Okay, so we have a huge W on behalf of Errol Spence, uh, technically knocking out Kell Brook. It was a huge win for Errol Spence, an emotional one for Errol Spence, also an emotional loss for Kell Brook. Throughout the whole stadium, you could just tell that everybody was heartbroken. They thought that Kell Brook was gonna do like a comeback type fight, like he was back and he's there to represent for the country, but he didn't. He didn't finish like he wanted to. I really feel like Kell Brook is definitely a people's champion, and he did what he had to do in a fight like a guy like Errol Spence. I mean, to be honest with you, I expected something different from Errol Spence. Not to say that Errol Spence didn't do his thing, because I definitely saw greatness in him. But I feel like what I thought of Errol Spence is not what I saw tonight. I mean, today. So, what I saw from Errol Spence was that I saw that he's a very tough fighter. He's a very dedication fighter, devoted fighter, disciplined fighter. He likes to cut off the ring. He likes to fight inside. So this is basically his debut fight. It's basically him saying, "I'm here." Uh, People have been saying that he's been a really good fighter for a long time. I've heard from inside the Mayweather gym a bunch of times people saying that he's a real good fighter, and he deserves all the credit in the world. Um, Kell Brook did mess up on a few things. I feel like his errors were bigger than Earl's. Earl can get a pass on a lot of mistakes, but he can get a pass because he's young and he has the fortitude and the energy to make those mistakes, and it really won't matter because he has that second, third, fourth win to keep going, and that's what changes the fight. So he can get a pass, but Kell can't. So what I expected from Kell was to keep away from Errol Spence, and that was very difficult because as soon as Errol Spence started to tie him up and get inside and rough him up and punch him on the inside, that's where Kell Brook had no answer. He literally had no answer at all, and that's where he messed up. I really thought that his speed would be a problem for Earl, and it wasn't. It was his combination. It was his footing. It was his positioning. Kell Brook's his movement was a problem for Earl. But if Kell had a little bit more speed and he would have went to the body a little bit more, I'm pretty sure he would have been able to kind of slow Earl down from trying to gain a second and third win, because in the middle rounds you could see that Kell was affecting Earl, but he wasn't stopping him. He wasn't slowing him down. He wasn't even changing his game plan. Earl still kept coming, and that was the reason why Kell he couldn't stop him. If he would have at least slowed him down, he would have exposed Earl a little bit more, open it up a little bit more where he looks more exposed, and then the next few rounds he could have coasted. But he couldn't coast because Earl was on his butt, man. He was like literally on his A game, trying to finish the fight, trying to get to the weakness of Kell, and he found it. And it really was a fight where it's like who has more energy, who's the more who's the one that can go, who has the more stamina in the fight. So as you guys know, I always say I'm not an expert. You could even check out my pre-fight evaluation for the Kell Brook versus Errol Spence fight, and I called it where it could be a problem with his eyes, not the orbital bone eye, the one that Triple G injured, but I thought that could be an issue. I thought that it could be something in that section, and I really felt like Errol Spence really outdid Kell Brook. I thought that he would win by knockout if he did. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think it would be the eye But I thought even if it was the eye, that would be the reason why he got knocked out. I also felt that Errol Spence would have won only by knockout because it had to be that energy. It had to be. He had to come with that youth, and Errol Spence definitely did it. He definitely made sure that he slowed Kell Brook down, and it's easy to say that if Kell Brook was not the version that he was today, he could have beaten Errol Spence. But I actually don't believe that. I really feel that Kell Brook just doesn't have the answers. You know what I'm saying? He has the game plan. He showed a great game plan that exposed Earl a little bit, but it takes a really good fighter to show that. And I don't know if Thurman or any of these guys are these guys. I don't like jumping on hype trains, but I will say this, that Earl has a chin. And it's gonna take a little bit of a stronger fighter and faster fighter than him to expose that. And it's possible that he could just run through 147. Now, I could be absolutely wrong. It's possible that Thurman could do better, but with all these injuries and all these weird stuff, all the knickknacks that Thurman has, I don't see him beating Errol Spence right now. I do not. And like I said, I'm not on the hype train. I was actually rooting for Kell Brook, but Kell just didn't go to the body, and he didn't protect his face enough. He let Errol Spence get on the inside. I really feel like if Kell would have done that, he would have had an easier fight. But his game plan was perfect. Another thing I wanted to say? One more thing I wanted to say. I never got to say this, and I don't think anybody's saying this on YouTube. I really believe that Kell Brook took the Triple G fight to prepare for Errol Spence. Errol Spence has been trying to fight Kell Brook for a minute now, and he was hellbound on the IBF title. I really, really believe that Kell Brook said, I don't know if I have the energy to fight a guy like Errol Spence. So what I'm going to do is, since no one wants to fight Triple G, I'm going to go fight Triple G. Which was even crazier. He probably felt like, what's there to lose? I'm not going to lose my title. I know my country will support me, and I'll make a bunch of money, because he made a bunch of money off of Triple G. So they filled up the arena, they hyped it up, and he tried to fight Triple G. He did a really good job. He thought that he was going to be indestructible. Indestructible, I should say. I'm sorry. He thought he was going to be indestructible. He thought if he lost, what's the worst that could happen? I get dropped to the floor, and then that's it. They count me out, whatever. But he really showed a lot of grit versus Triple G. The problem is that he never pictured getting injured, especially in a sensitive spot like the eye. So I feel like Kell Brook learned a lesson here, and I don't know, but I really would say that he should retire, because that is a really sensitive spot to get hit. And the eyes, just, I'm telling you, it's not something you could heal, really. Especially you getting punched there all the time. He's a phenomenal fighter, and I don't know if there's ever going to be another version of Kell Brook. So that's kind of why I was rooting for him, because his style is not the ordinary, man. You don't see fighters like Kell Brook, man. You don't see it. I really feel like it kind of sucks to see that his career ended that way. But the UK fans are gonna always respect him. They're gonna always show love to him, and he's not gonna just be some other guy that's just chilling and no one respects him. I could easily see him beating a guy like Broner, Kell Brook, I mean to say. I could easily see him beating a guy like Broner or Khan. I could see him beating Khan easy, real easy. But he's got to have confidence, and he's also got to be protecting his face. So it's hard to go inside of a fight like that and then be like real confident that you're gonna win, but at the same time being careful of your eye. That's really hard. So yeah, that's why I said in my evaluation video, I was like, man, you need to be careful. And you can defend all you want. You can back off all you want. But like I said, Kell Brook doesn't have the speed like that. You can't have so much power and so much speed at the same time. It's really difficult. So shout out to Errol Spence, the new IBF welterweight champion. I really think that he has the strongest chin in the welterweight right now for sure. The guys that I think could give him trouble is maybe Sean Porter. Uh, I don't know about Bradley because Bradley's a weird fighter now. Like he really, he's kind of he's inconsistent. You gotta come in with fights that you're consistent. That's another reason why Kell Brook lost too. I think that he psychologically just checked out and just said, you know what, I'm done. I can't keep trying to fight like this. So I feel like the only guys that could probably beat or give Errol a problem is maybe Manny Pacquiao and Sean Porter. Errol Spence, I really feel like he has the answer for Thurman. I really feel like Danny is not fast enough for Spence. Maybe I might be missing some guys in Europe and stuff like that, but there's not too many guys I could think of that could give him a problem. You know what I mean? So uh, feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know who you guys think could give Earl a problem. What are some of the mistakes that Earl made in the fight to make him a better fighter? He's definitely a champion. He went to the UK and and beat the crap out of Kell Brook at the end of the fight. He really beat him up. Took that title. He's gonna come back home. I don't know. I don't really see him fighting an elite fighter like Thurman next. But I do believe that he's gonna fight, a tune-up or some type of tune-up. That's what I truly believe. He's gonna have some type of tune-up, and then he'll fight somebody that'll be worthy. But I don't know. If I was Thurman's team, I would think about it because I don't see the power. I don't see I don't see enough answers for Thurman to slow Earl down. Earl reminds me of like a Holyfield or like a Margarito, like a tough fighter. Talking about somebody that just doesn't stop, and he's a very skilled fighter on the inside. So in order for him to be shut down, it's gonna have to be somebody tall with some speed, or it's gonna have to be somebody that's speedy and can have the stamina to get out of those holds and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, I don't think Pacquiao is youthful enough for a guy like Earl. So, I'm not gonna put him up there at the top, but I will say that he's gonna give every single welterweight a problem if he ever matches up with any of these guys. Because like I said, I really feel like Kell Brook is special. He really was a special skilled guy in the welterweight for a while, but things happen. So yeah, like, comment, share. Let me know what you guys think. Kell Brook, what does he do from here on out? That's all I have to say. It's your boy Rex Righteous, and let's keep boxing alive. Peace out.